Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Jad. When we wanted to put the slides, I mean, one would think, who's the audience? I think our audience is like those who want to place Moodle in an ecosystem. So we are sharing with you practices from the regions we work with on how Moodle works best, because it's Moodle, it's the open architecture, it's Moodle, the flexible. So we are sharing with you two cases today. I'm pushing a button to move. So, but let me start with the question. So any organization around the world probably asking the same question when they want to implement a learning platform. So questions could be, how do we train at scale? Especially we talk about national systems or large initiatives. Keep learning inclusive and engaging. Build systems that don't just solve today's problems, but also the ones of tomorrow. So learning platforms answer well so far, but still there is more beyond technology, which is actually the human. So today, we want to kind of touch on those questions, give you answers. We want also to share with you what we are busy doing. The first case is a large case. So a case where Moodle works in a scalable case, where Moodle works in a complex, in a time-limited situations, which is also that will be explained a bit later. The second case where that's Eummena. Eummena is an innovation company where we innovate, where we are free thinking about how things should be tomorrow. That's the second case. So, and we will end, of course, with sharing with you our practical takeaways. So as you can see, the two sides, and in the middle, it's the innovation. That's key for us at Eummena. So we will share with you, those two cases. Let us kick off with the first one. The first one is the entity that manages learning and training for the health practitioners in Saudi Arabia. You are talking about 40,000 learners. So one of the initiatives there is a big initiative, is training the practitioners, the health practitioners that serve the Hajj season. Hajj season is 2 million people attending this ritual at the same very moment. So health professionals should be there ready, trained to deliver their services. And all the training happens on the Moodle platform. Here we are talking about 3,800 in one course, just as an example, one course that was rolled out. And we are talking about a couple of thousand of certified trainers. So the time is very critical here. So they have to be trained within a very narrow time frame. Now, what would make this initiative work? Key enablers. It's actually the human factor. It's important in the success of every initiative. So those practitioners, they must receive a certificate, and this certificate has to be issued within a very critical time. Otherwise, they will not be able to be on their position at that very moment. So that's the urgency. Also, the team readiness behind the Moodle platform. The team readiness not only of Eummena, the vendor, but also the team that provides the first and second level support. That's very important. So integrations are very important. And here I want to give a deep dive. Tassos will tell you the complexity of integrations that was implemented to enable this project. Tassos.
Yes, indeed. because we were talking about a national initiative, a national platform, it was critical that we have some integrations in place that will allow different systems to work together, with Moodle being in the center. The first one was the unique identity that we would have from an identity management platform that operates there for Saudi Arabia, where users need to have their own identity validated, and then they can access the platform. And through this integration, we also receive some details for the users, and we know that they're the right persons who should participate in the training and then also receive the certificates. The second very important integration was with some platform that this authority operates that will issue the permits. We, after all the training is performed and some criteria are met, we use this integration to synchronize some data back into this platform in order for the permit to be issued. And also we have some more smaller integrations in place for notifications via email, for retrieving some additional data from the local CRM that this organization operates on top of what we receive from the identity provider. And all these were essential, but they are not the only ones, because we know when we started, and this is what Jad will explain soon, when we started this project, that was the real demand, and it was critical for the success of this specific training for the Hajj health practitioners. But then we knew already that they will require more things. This will leave them with a system that, yes, it functioned well, but it will be ready to be used maybe in a year when they will have another similar case. But we knew that it could be an opportunity when we started working with this team that we introduce them to all the different things that they can achieve with Moodle. And for this reason, we knew that more integrations would need to be in place. We used the opportunities then that during this phase we had all these discussions with them to also lay the ground for the future. I will stay here, yes.
I think UX, yes, you would guess in such an initiative, UX and the intuitive design is very important, and that's also something we worked on.
Especially because many of these practitioners would access their system from the mobile devices. Arabic was the main language, but also they also preferred to have additional languages, so yes, all this.
Okay. So I don't have, yeah, now it's syncing. So as I said, a huge number for such one course of certificates. The syncing back to the current system was very important. You are talking about national system, so this point system was very important. Satisfaction was very, very good for us. It's really an amazing result. 95 satisfaction rate is amazing, and this is measured by the entity, not by us, by the way, of course. Sustainability by design was also very interesting. So now we know how we scale up, for the next coming initiatives. And the room of innovation in how we scale, the room of innovation of what, to integrate. So here we are talking about creating an ecosystem within this organization. So Moodle is not a silo. I think these numbers tell you not about this course, about the whole kind of the platform, the size of the platform across different programs at the entity. Yep. Now let's go to our country, to Belgium. So in Belgium, we have a very interesting case we want to share with you today. We work on innovation, how to innovate on top of Moodle to bring, the user experience to another level. So here we talk about competence-based learning, or the, the learning outcomes, it's called differently. It's a project for the K-12 and lifelong learning, CVOs, for those who are from Belgium. So how to bring, the user experience to the next level, integrating outcome-based learning into the platform. Also, it's important to mention this project is done with key organizations in Belgium, Catholic University of Leuven, where we have been doing the research on the AI and how to integrate AI and dashboards into the platform. Hito is a school, a small but very innovative school from Flanders in Belgium. CVO Antwerp, one of the large CVO lifelong learning training organizations, and of course ourselves.
Thank you.
When we talk about innovation, we talk about humans. You cannot separate it. So meetings, discussions with the stakeholders were very essential. With the school, to see what teachers want to do, because when you say competence-based learning, this is competences forced by the ministry. So the ministry said every organization has to deliver competence-based learning. So we sat with the teachers, with the school principals and so on, to see what they wanted to achieve. And then we tried to map Moodle current approach with what they want, and also to map the future innovation on top of Moodle, also based on the needs of the teacher. As you can see, these are meetings in our place, but there are also some meetings that took place at the school itself. Now, let us show you in the architecture, again, the ecosystem we are bringing for innovation. I will touch a very high level, and Tassos, you can deep dive a bit. But the idea here, we wanted to also bring, to bring a project where we have the competencies that are coming from the ministry. We index them into Moodle. We wanted to have every student, authenticate with the system using the Lear ID. It's also an SSO for Flanders in Belgium. Also, we wanted, very important, to track everything about the interaction of the student with the system. And then we wanted to apply AI on top of it. Now, Tassos, for how we collected the data, and this is a unique approach we did for the LRS, which probably we haven't seen in this.
Maybe we'll come back to this slide after we explain what was the outcome of this work, and then.
Super. That's a good suggestion. Then let us tease you a bit, okay? Everybody in the room, I'm sure he needs this tool. I'm confident. So mapping competencies to learning activities is really time-consuming. It is really almost difficult to do a right mapping, even if the teacher is, knows his subject and so on, because it's tiring. So when we started the project, this component was not on the list. We wanted to do what you will see in the couple of slides coming. But this became a necessity, and this is our agility and our innovation. So we changed the scope of the project to first solve the problem. If we want to do outcome-based learning, and teachers cannot work with a manual way, we had to automate. So we used AI on top of the ministry learning outcomes, of the activities, the files, the learning material that are uploaded in Moodle, that we give the teacher. So the AI assistant would create a suggested learning outcomes that will map to the activity in now the teacher is working on. And then the teacher will select this. So we are not taking a decision on behalf of the teacher. We are supporting him, and that's very important. This is an approach we have core. The teacher is in control, but we are trying to assist him or her. So this tool really perceived a great, attention and feedback from the teachers and also from the school management. Now, when you want to support the instructor, you need to tell him how learning is going with the learners. So we built the first dashboard, and this dashboard, think of it like it's a place where the teacher would come and say how the learners are doing with achieving their learning outcomes. So he will see the student in comparison with other kids or pupils. He will see the student in comparison, with other topics. So we built those dashboards. I will not deep dive. There are different views of this. But the idea that we tracked competencies that were linked, so we tracked them, and then we gave the teacher, we call it actionable dashboard, because it's a dashboard that's designed in a way that it will help the teacher to take action, the next action. So this is something that has been built, and it's actually, by the way, but it's a native plugin inside Moodle. This is our approach and how we are implementing it. As you can see, these are topics like English, math, French, and how the progress of the student compared to the other students. The other issue, when you are in a school, there is something called the Klasraad in Belgium, or in Dutch, it's the school council. They have to sit and decide who pass, who fails, and this is not an easy decision. You need data to make those decisions. So we designed these dashboards to the committee that will take a decision to see the progress of the student, of the achievement of the learning outcomes over time. So this way, they would look at the student not on one mark for one exam, that's at the whole picture. This is also something that was useful. You want to say something?
No, that maybe we go back now to explain a bit on the architecture before.
Let me try to go back.
Yes,
so
yes, you're doing well.
That you have seen now the dashboards. Tassos will deep dive a bit here.
Perfect. Okay, so this innovation project, let's say, it targeted 3 outcomes. One was the AI assistant for matching competencies to activities that would support the teacher to easier determine which competencies are related to which activities, and that worked very well. And then two dashboards, one for the class council and one for the instructor himself. Now, to arrive to these outcomes, and because it was an innovation project, we tried several approaches. The one that really worked well, and what was the, let's say, one of the key results was that we wanted a way that any AI engine, and we were working with the team from KU Leuven, the most innovative university in Europe for many years, and they wanted really that they have access to all the data that they could get their hands on, so that they could feed their AI engine and they could make it smarter and more relevant for the task at hand. So at the beginning, they asked how they could use the AI subsystem or how they can tap directly to the database of Moodle itself, but this didn't work. What worked really well is that we used a learning record store, an LRS, and use XAPI statements, which is standard protocol. We didn't reinvent the wheel, to export whatever happens in Moodle in a way that it's easy for any other external system to figure, to understand. So it doesn't need to know what database relation Moodle has, or it doesn't need to use special APIs. It can go through like a conversational, not sentence by sentence, because each statement is a sentence, actually, who did what and for what reason, and it can figure all the learning that takes place inside Moodle. So this was really powerful, and then it allowed the AI engines actually to figure a lot about what takes place inside Moodle and bring back results. So how do we bring back the results then? We followed 2 approaches. Both were successful, each one in their own way. One was a native Moodle plugin that used the native core graphing libraries of Moodle. It worked really well. It didn't add performance issues or other similar issues that we get with dashboards sometimes, because everything was already pre-processed, and then this plugin just visualized the dashboards. The second one was also very interesting. We implemented an external tool that works as an LTI tool. So, and this runs on its own infrastructure server. It draws the data again from the LRS, and it can build richer dashboards than the ones that we can use. We can have inside Moodle with native graphing libraries. But then also it integrates very well inside Moodle because it talks LTI. So the moment it's launched, it's already aware of the context, who is using it, if it has what kind of permissions to show which kind of data, and all this works very well. Yeah.
Thank you, Tassos. So let us go to, the main message we want to say, like here. So for us, as you could see, every project is not a silo. This is how we try to take the innovation from one project to the other. We bring Moodle as a component in an ecosystem. So our team will always try to be in dialogue with our client on how they want to achieve things. That would enable us to innovate and to bring the learning experience needed. Of course, it's time consuming, but I think you would see the value at the end when you deliver. So also I want to say here, working with people with experience, examples, the Moodle partners, this can be also an added value because of the experience they could bring that will speed up the process of implementation and looking at the possible ways for a successful, let's say, project or program. Briefly about us, again, we are an edtech firm, and we focus always to bring innovation into the way learning and education should be now and in the future. We cover the full stream of edtech, from working, providing technical consultancy to implementing the projects with Moodle and Moodle ecosystem, other products. We always like to be, seeing ourselves delivering on projects that are large or that have a complex component. Our headquarters are in Leuven in Belgium, but we are also operating in several countries, from Saudi Arabia to the Emirates to other countries in the EMEA region. We really thank you, and we hope this has been useful, that you take some hints, or you link it to things you are doing back at your organizations.
I really liked kind of how you defined kind of how innovation not only had to come from an actual need, but then the urgency is kind of the gasoline that gets innovation going, and I thought that was a really good way of thinking of that. Is there anybody that has any questions around that, other than can you just come give us all that so that we can install that for our clients? We'd love that. I could already think of 2 or 3 clients that we could use that for. Any other questions? All right, you guys must have done an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you.